Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and this is a love letter to Erune. Now, we're coming here with Erune Light and Darkness, which is its first big Kickstarter expansion. Now, Erune is the closest game you're going to have to Dungeons and Dragons official game. Because for me, if Dungeons and Dragons, the Wizards of the Coast, were doing a Kickstarter, they would spin something together which would look like Erune. However, they will never do that, will they? You just can't get these companies into crowdfunding for some reason to kind of really push out their amazing, innovative design that they could be doing. But so why is it so alluring? Well, so it is a dungeon crawler, but it is an RPG dungeon crawler with a heavy focus on character selection, choosing your class, getting a subclass, getting a prestige class. Now that is class on class, where you can subclass to get two classes that we would kind of see as we go down. This big picture here looks egregious because of all the colour. I'm not a real fan of it when you look at it like that, but when you see it up close, it looks spectacular. Now, so when you open a room and you put the tile down, you're not looking at a map. It's coming from the app, so the app is showing you where things are. It's got sound effects, music, stuff like that. So it's a little bit like Mansions of Madness app tied into a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawl. Fantastic. When you open the chest, you'll know what you get from the app. So all secrets are inside the app. So it totally is app controlled. When I first looked at this project, I really felt that this was a gateway game to teach kids into a dungeon crawl, because it had really super streamlined and easy mechanics. So yeah, the games master is inside the app, managing your storyline, the dungeon, how it progresses, and events that are happening. Fantastic. Massive total amount of different miniatures. There you go, 8.2 on BGG, absolutely fantastic. Voice commands as well from the app. And you can go to the full campaign on Kickstarter, which we're going to jump to right now. So that's just a quick window. Here we go. Well, I think it didn't do quite well because people just don't cover games, do they? Unless they're getting money for it these days. A lot of those channels don't cover games unless there's a ching in the pocket, Lottery tickets. Weird. This is the picture that's kind of egregious. It would have been better if all of this would have been grey or something like that, and the heroes were different colours or something. It just looks weird, that big picture. Might have put people off just the vibrancy of the gargantuan colours that we're seeing here. So yeah, multiple endings is new with this expansion, which is interesting. So it becomes a little choose your own adventure as you go through it. That leaves some nice replayability. And you probably would want to replay this game as a different class, roll it up a little bit different, especially as some of the areas will change. Now it does say that there is an adventure generator. This is, as it says, if you have a friend that drops into the campaign, because there's a drop in and drop out, Well, it says here, if you're at level 6, what does your friend do when they come and drop in? Well, the app will generate a level 6 character for them, depending on what class they want to pick. That's fantastic. So that drop in, drop out is beautiful, isn't it? Because if I'm playing it with my son and he wants to invite his friend round to play Erune, and my son's already level 4, well, I'm level 4, it will generate a level 4 for him so he can jump in. Beautiful, beautiful. So it does have, what I like about the lore book, the grimoire here, is that it's something that you can read when you're not playing the game. I think this is an important part of D&D, is that you've got media, so you can kind of be absorbed in the game even if you're not playing it at the table. I like that the grimoire's there because it's adding lore, and certainly I know I'd be reading that, and certainly my son would be as well. Now the expansions are including more classes that aren't classical, like you can see here. Necromancy is coming as a class, so that's kind of interesting. Now the Scourge cards here, it's like the AI becomes a little bit harder. Like I say, it is tuned to be like very friendly, gateway friendly, but you can tune it to be harder. And if you're playing it as a solo, say with 2 heroes, and you've got, you know, you're seasoned as a dungeon crawler, you might be able to blast through it too easy. Well, you've got this Scourge cards that add conditions to the fight and stuff. Interesting stuff. I don't think that's got anything to do with necromancy there, but I think necromancy is something that was unlocked, if I remember correctly. And there's a quick look at the character sheet where you're writing stuff that you've picked up and stuff like that. Super, super cool. All right. We're looking through, it looks like we're looking at like stretch goals and stuff, doesn't it? Yeah, what's good about the app is that the app kind of remembers what stuff you've got, right? So when you attack, you put in your attack on the dice, and the app automatically adds in any stuff from your gear. So it manages all that for you. So that's what I mean by super streamlined. So good. Now you notice the art, the colour of the cards represents the class that's using them. So it does say that these red cards here are for the Demon Huntress, whereas these brown cards here are for the Monk. Again, it's unique art. I understand why it's been coloured, that's the Erune way of doing things. I would have 100% preferred them to colour them in. But I get what they're going for here, and I respect that art goes across all of the cards, and, you know, whatever. I'm not getting too hung up on that. So yeah, lots of minis that were unlocked and stuff like this. Some good rule reminder cards. These rule reminders are basically conditions and things that you might need to think about. But like I said, the app does take control of that, so you know, not too bad. This is a good stretch goal because it's adding more art, and so yeah, it's fairly cool. Like I said, when I think it's like your first entry into a dungeon crawl, you know, you'll probably play Erune and then you'll jump to something like, I don't know, Madara. You might go after this because they're both dice chuckers, and then you might head into Gloomhaven maybe then as your third one. I'm just trying to think out loud, and then you might go to Vampire the Masquerade as another dungeon crawl. whatever dungeon crawls you've got in your selection, I think this one is definitely one that you should be playing first. Yeah, beautiful stretch goal here. They really do double down on the storage of the game. Quick setup, quick teardown. I really like that. It's an important part of a dungeon crawler, isn't it? Because the boxes generally are overladen with content. Now it does say character sheet in the app, and that's for saving your character. you know, it depends how often you pull it down. The 199,999 stretch goal, community choice, Master of Shadows Ascension, the ultimate setup. This is for the one versus many, right? This is dad versus his kids, right? Or your son and his friend or something. And this is the GM screen. Is that what it is? Yeah, it says empower your monsters and dominate the game with this powerful relic. So the ultimate setup there. So you can do one versus many if you don't want to get, you know, if you don't want to use the app. But again, the app's going to be logging stuff for you easier. You're probably still going to want to do it. Change the game's landscape. This is interesting, isn't it? Give those columns a nudge and watch as the chaos unfolds. So some new mechanics coming in. Dragon mini. Minis, new abilities for the Guardian. Nice. A forge, a miniature pack. A hunk and huntress heroic upgrades. New classes. They kind of hinted at these, didn't they, with abilities going down, but yeah, these are starting classes, so you can be a monk and then you could specialize in becoming a monk archer, for example, or a monk warrior. So the warrior will get, instead of using his fists, he might use a weapon like some nunchucks or something like that. And the demon hunter, who might be firing crossbows, you might be able to get them a gun or something if you switch class to the musketeer or something like that. So it has this interesting dynamic where you can mold your character. That's why it has so much player agency over its character, which makes it so cool. I love the boxes though. It's using the miniatures almost, isn't it, in Erune, and it looks really, really good. So what are you getting if you're on the big fat pledge then? So the kind of saying that in the heroic box, strange on the late pledge, you can't go for the cool game. You can only get the you can only get the cover game and the expansion, can't you? So anyway, let's keep going down. So yeah, this is the big box where they're throwing it all in. All right, I love big boxes and all that stuff. And of course, when you pull a dungeon crawler off, that becomes a, like I say, a wielding thing. But here we go, we've got the miniatures here. Wizard, new monk, dungeon crawler, warriors, the guardian, and the archer. You've got all the character cards, the subclasses that you can see now. You can see you get a deck of the abilities. Of all the skills, which is really good. Complete set of wizards. It's almost got that 1970s feel of D&D. This is me trying to push the phone because it's ringing. As your class gets heroic, you can see the different classes they can blend into, which is Knight, Berserker, Assassin. There's some fantastic subclasses here. And yeah, so it looks really interesting if you play one versus many, and you can be, you can even upgrade your class as the Dungeon Master, which is epic. Yeah, tons of monsters and minis with across the whole deck, looking absolutely fantastic, and some really, really cool adventurers. It's just an epic adventure. Let me start using page down because we're going to be rolling, aren't we, with all this stuff. So yeah, custom dice, really nice components, and rooms that you're putting down and then you're building around them, whatever the app tells you, a little bit like Mansions of Madness, so you dress up from the app. Has a really good table presence. There is the aspect that you only can see what you see, and when you open the door you then lay it all out. So you don't lay it all out at the beginning, you kind of start small and then you go across the table as you play. We're looking at a picture there. I think the play mat's in the big pledge, isn't it? I think so. There's that enormous play mat, as they're calling there. It looks dark there and kind of blue there. Stretch goals pushing all that there, so yeah. Be in the game. There's a super big pledge. We didn't see that on the game found. Let's just go legendary all in. Legendary pledge. Legendary all in. Add-ons. Yeah, this is already in that, isn't it? The standee pledge is an upgrade pack. Interesting. Yeah, there is videos that you can check out. It really is a fascinating game, and you can see that even if you've gone for the full pledge, they've got this standard €40 shipping for the rest of the world, and everybody's paying standard shipping. So that's kind of epic. I love that. Now they're saying on their Kickstarter January 2025, but it all depends what the the game found is. But potentially, let's have a look. They've not done any update on. That's kind of a big worry, isn't it? That they don't update their pledge manager and they stick it all on here. Right, so they only opened the pledge on July 1st, and they got any notice of when they're leaving? No, but if it is going to be January, I'm guessing it's going to be October or something like that. All right, peeps, let's go back to the pledge manager. Here we are. It's 300 all in, and you know what the shipping is. It's going to be 40. The content you're getting is just amazing, though. The new expansion, the play mat, the dice, the map, all this stuff, and it's got all that expanded stuff and stretch goals that we looked at there on the Kickstarter, so it's quite an incredible pack. You've got all those classes to look forward to, character molding into the different classes. You've got miniatures for all of the enemies, fantastic, and you've got that one versus many if you want to be the game's master if you want. Wow, peeps, if you want another dungeon crawler on your shelf, Erune, why are you not looking at it? It's incredible. It really is. It's really accessible, tear up, tear down, nice and easy. Has that Dungeons and Dragons easy flair to it. You'll be enamored by the dungeon classes. It's dice chucking fantasy. Brilliant boards that you write on. Can we just finish on those the board? I love the player map. There's just so much wavy room. So yeah, I think bottom thing to say about it is Erune is, again, it's Dungeons and Dragons. If they did a Kickstarter and really went out and picked out what they wanted, this is what they would do. That's what I think. It's as close to the... it's so close to what they would have done. That's why I'm so enamored with this project, in love with the project, and it's why it's on my top of my list for the next game that I pledge when I get the funds. September? I'm thinking bills to pay and all that stuff. I guess you know what how it is. But yeah, Erune, wow, what a game! Expanded. Super stretch gold again, and you get a big box now. Amazing. Have fun playing it with a friend who's never played a dungeon crawler before and get them into the genre. This is gonna be amazing for them to do. And anyway, when they do show that version of the map, it's not going to look like that because You'll have blasted your way through there, wouldn't you, knocking them all out, trying to get to the boss. So yeah, they do call it the next generation hybrid dungeon crawlers. And I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait to play it with my son, maybe my son's friend, and even solo it as a different class playing on a harder mode. It just looks the bomb. Erune, I love you, I love you, I love you. I've got room on my shelf for you, big box. I'm running out of shelf space. So I have to be really choosy. But I covered Erune when it first dropped on Kickstarter. I've been following its progress. And I think I missed it when it came to its second Kickstarter. So I'm pretty sad for that. But on late pledge now, not going to miss it. No. And all that good stuff. Alright peeps, there you go. Love letter to Erune Light and Darkness. Wow, wow, wow. The dungeon crawler. Gateway game for kids. And the game that Wizards of the Coast would have done if they went crowdfunding. And on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments down below what you think of Erune. Do you have it? Are you backing the expansion? What do you think of it? Do you recommend it? Who do you play it with? What did they think of it? And all that good stuff. How do you find playing it with the app? Tell me all the goodness of the app, what you like. And do you like using the pencil and writing on your character sheet? Old school style. Love it! So yeah, thank you for watching. If you like the video, these love letters, I do have a love letter series. If you go down to the playlist, and you'll find all of the late pledges that I used to talk about and stuff like that. And if you subscribe to the channel, you'll find these love letters every now and again. But I do cover topics in the industry and interesting Kickstarters to make notice of. That's live, and all my videos, when they go live, they should be relevant to you, that you can make a consumer's choice to back something, or the video will be relevant to what's happening right now. So there's always an element of presence with my videos, that they're always relevant when they go live. That's why it's great to be a subscriber. Please give the video a like again. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Look at this guy, he picked a rune smith. Fascinating.